Hey, howdy, hi, hello, hola, privyet, bonjour, guten tag. What is up, Vikings? On this video, I'm going to explain a little bit about the bonuses of the Hall of Glory and how they will affect your troops. Of course, some of these, as I will explain when I go over them, will affect certain individuals differently based on individual account strength. Others will, of course, be applied to the base, and I'll get kind of into the specifics of that as I go over them. If you have not already in the past, hit the subscribe button, and of course, for the rest of you, please hit the like button. I hope this helps some of you guys decode the mysteries of the Hall of Glory and just why an update like this is so game changing for a lot of people. There's a lot of things in this as far as the way it affects your troops and the way that your troops, of course, will affect an opponent's troops in a battle report. So, with that being said, I'll get into this. I'm going to go over the math too in this so you can see kind of how the numbers get broken down. So, first of all, the Hall of Glory knowledge. This chart is available in the proxy bot. The difference of this chart and the chart you will see there is this has the T7 and T8 bonuses factored in on the percentages. I'll go over the base for those and some other things in here to help break down. So, because some of these are multipliers. So, first of all, I'll get into these base ones. When it comes to these numbers right here, base stats. So on PC, of course, you don't see this number. On mobile, you do, and I'll show you where you can find it on mobile and where we got it on the game to base this math off of. So T7 base stats are 501 for offense, defense, and health. As you can see, they're pretty balanced. This is before anything else factors in. This is before your Valkyrie. This is before your Oracle, before your Helheim, your gear, your shaman, your hero, everything else, achievements, everything. These are your basic numbers. Now that's important because later on when we factor in the multipliers, that will change. The T8 base stats are again 680 for offense, 510 for defense, 510 for health. So where to find these on mobile anyway, because we can't see them on PC. Where to find these on mobile is simply this right here. We all know what this screen looks like. This is the training screen from a phone. I use Siege because the example I will give later is done in Siege. But the resources and training costs are here. How many you're training are there? Time, gold, blah, blah, blah. Okay, right here, stats. So right here, you can see the base number. That base number is 501 before anything else is applied. That's before knowledge, before everything else. That's just a basic base number. 501 across the board. Here, same thing on T8, cost for training, time. Right here, base number 680, 510, 510. That's where those base numbers come from. That's before everything else changes. These three numbers do not change. It doesn't matter what I do to my gear, what I do to my hero, nothing. These three numbers, these first three numbers do not ever change. They are the base stat for the troop type. So where I said that is important is because when we come to our Hall of Glory chart here. So it's 300%. I'll blow this up a little bit. Whoop. Ooh. Okay. So 300%. That's going to be that 501 multiplied by 300% gets you 1503. Now, that is 1,503 when attacking towns in this case, for instance. Defense when attacking towns, it changes to 1,002. Health when attacking towns, 1,002. You can see also what it does to the T8. So now the base. Why is the base so important versus the outcome? The base is important because obviously having a higher base number means anything that is added or multiplied onto it changes the entire core of the troop. So before everything else, before gear and all that stuff factors in, this base number being bigger means the troop itself is stronger. The reason I bring that up is because when the multipliers factor in, you see a huge, gigantic difference. Most of these, as we're scrolling through and looking, most of these change the base, like Army Offense and Onslaught. 100%, it's 501 to your T7, 680 to your T8. Now, a lot of people are like, well, why is Army Offense and an Onslaught so beefy? Because, quite simply, that 501 would be 501 plus 501, meaning your base would then change to 1,000 or 1,002 on top of everything else that then factors in, and that's just merely for the offense in the Onslaught. So it kind of helps piece together the math. Again, most of these are all added onto your base. Now, when it comes to these, why these numbers are so big? Because these are a multiplier. These numbers changed based on, and these are the numbers that will change based on, as I said in the beginning, based on the individual troops of a person, of an account. So here you can see these numbers. Example for battle stats for multipliers. So the T7 are 67,845, 61,585. Health is 58,457. T8 is 115,000, 72,000 defense, 62,000 health. These are based off of an example, and these numbers come from, as I said, battle stats multipliers. So you'd get the same thing if you multiplied it out through the base and then added all your gear, all your achievements, all your town skins, and you perform the same action again. But this is where they come from. Ooh. So a successful battle report. You can see the numbers here. So 67,845, 61,585, 58,457. These are just an example. Not everybody's numbers off of these are going to be the same, but this will break it down on how you can also find out these stats and how your troops are going to be affected by Hall of Glory knowledge. And then I'll figure out the offense against and stuff, and I'll tell you that too. So of course, offense during an attack, 115,000 for T8, defense 72, health is 62. This is the example that we base the numbers off of for the chart to give you guys an idea of how much of a bonus is really going to be factored into these troops once the Hall of Glory knowledge is done. I know somebody is going to be like, Bones, I can't get my troops up that high. Well, here's the thing. This is based on individual account progress. So your town skins, your hero skins, attacking, defending, onslaughting, what other bonuses you're factoring into it. You're a seer, your gear, your shaman, knowledge, Valkyrie, all of that factors into this right here. Now, why is that important? Because when it comes down to the math for it, essentially, here we go. So we'll pop this up right here. Comes down to the math. We will say, we'll use this as an example. So T8. If you have the tier 8 done in the Hall of Glory, your tier 8 warrior offense against T1 with a 200 percentage, 200%. Then becomes 230k. Now that's 230k based off of the offense, the percentage off the offense, and then you have to turn around and factor in the 868% that T1 already gets against T1, or T8 gets against T1. So your bonus, it jumps up exponentially. And then that number, so I mean the 230 you're seeing here, would then get added to the base number of 115,000, meaning that your offense against T1 would hit with roughly 300, if you had the same stats as what was shown in the example, would hit with roughly 345k offense against T1. And then, for instance, like here, your T7, when guarding a fortress, it gets an extra with that same percentage. Now you take the, for T7 for this, you would take the 67,845 that we saw on the offense example. You would multiply that by 15%. You get 10,177. You then add those two numbers together. Then add those two numbers together. Take the 67,845. 7,845. You add it to 10177. Gives you an additional 78k there against melee. And then, like, here's the other catch. Here's why multipliers are so big. Because you then take this number that we just added right there with the base number, you make it 78,022. This is against melee. You go here against melee, add 338,142. And boom, all of a sudden against melee, your offense has gone from 338,142 and jumped up to 416,164. That would be what this, having these stats right here with siege troops, would roughly hit offense-wise against melee. Now keep in mind that is before the 25% or 50% against factors into siege having a stronger attack against melee because of the anti-troop bonus. So that is kind of how these stats work. That's kind of how they factor in, how they play. The Hall of Glory really, as I just showed, the numbers start to jump up. So when people are trying to understand why these numbers are so important and why their troops are just so much different than people's troops that don't have them, have the same Hall of Glory knowledge done, is because, quite simply, as I stated, a lot of these multipliers go off of account strength. So obviously, the stronger the account, the more gear, the more other factors that come into it, of course, means the higher numbers, which then, of course, means a higher percentage, higher bonus given, and then factors into, of course, more death for your opponent and stronger troops for you. So that's kind of how these bonuses work, how they're explained, how they math out. I hope you guys liked this video. It was something a little different. I haven't done a breakdown like this before for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them in the comments of this video. Hope you guys like this. Let me know, of course, if you do. I'll try to give more math breakdowns. For the second part of this video, or the second part, I should say, of this two-part video little series I'm doing, I will briefly explain why certain Hall of Glory places are better to start than others, in my opinion, of course. And then, of course, we'll break down some other stuff too. Hopefully help you guys make decisions when it comes to picking your bonuses. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope this video helps explain some things to you guys. I will see you on the next one and see you around in the community. Have a great and awesome weekend. Enjoy, and I will see you guys later.